one, I want to catch up and hear how your thing in Vegas went, and then I have like 5 questions that I'll ask you. Uh, it'll go a bit of like your history, your journey, what you're building right now, and sharing whatever uh, resources you want with people.
Okay.
Yes. How's that sound? Or not?
Man, it's always a little. I gotta get over this, and the more I do it, I'll get better. But the nervousness of it, like when you talk about like interviews, I kind of like go into this clamshell, man. And but at least I'm aware of it, and so like I was just thinking the other day, and that when I'm by myself, like I can articulate things and things is kind of flowing. And so when I'm in front of a crowd, it
Mhm.
get into that like introvert type of place um that nervousness, kind of like, the fear comes. But I've
Mhm.
learned I learned this. If you cannot change what you're not willing to confront, and if you not willing to identify it, you can't confront it. And so
Mhm.
I can identify that fear, man. And so because I can identify it, I have the gall enough to say, you know what, I'm going to continue, I'm going to press through this, because if I stay here long enough, the fear can it just goes away. So I know that
Yeah.
was a long, like drawn out answer to that little question, but I was just thinking about this the other day, like the interviews, man. I'm gonna start doing more and more of them, and so
Yeah.
I gotta get past that. When it's that time, I kind of like the fear comes in, and I just forget everything that I'm gonna say, all of like the stuff. But here
Yeah.
we go. Let's go, man. Let's do it.
Okay. Well, yeah, I mean, we can keep it casual, and I understand what you're talking about too, of like
Yeah,
I mean, the whole social media thing, that's how I met you, was on LinkedIn, and like the whole social media thing has been really weird and challenging for me.
yeah,
Uh, just like making content, making videos. I will sit and like re-record some of those videos that I put. Like it seems like 100 times before I actually am like, okay. So I mean, it's all taken getting used to, and it's not even I don't even feel used to it at this point, but it's just kind of like you said, I have to do it to get my name out there and get my stuff out there. And so I just keep doing it. So it looks
yeah,
like
and
you.
that's where I get that encouragement, man. Seeing guys like you just doing it, like keep doing it, and I think we can feed off of one another, because the confidence we have the confidence. We just got to use it, man, to get out there in the gall, to
Yeah,
get out of our own way. And
yeah,
my purpose has caused me to just overcome those fears, man, and just face them. And it's almost like the Goliath David facing Goliath. Every time I step up, here comes that fear. But I'm like, got my little slingshot, and I'm throwing it, and I'm just crashing,
yeah,
killing it, man.
yeah, yeah. I feel that. I really do. Because that's all it is. That's all that I think stands between, I mean, me for sure, and like pursuing things that I'm like, I can't do X, Y, or Z because I'm not X, Y, or Z. It's really just a mental thing.
Right.
Fear.
Exactly. Dude, I love like our last conversation, and to know like a part of your journey. Like, dude, you killing it. And I love it, because there's so many people, there's so many Brians, and there's so many Ians out there that like they're afraid to come from behind that persona that they think that they got to have before they can start and be successful. And
Right.
we're like, hey, just go, man. Just I don't know everything. There's a lot of ambiguity that goes on in the field that I'm in IT or AI or technology, period. But it has
Yeah.
not stopped me from just breaking open doors, man.
Yeah.
Just really, yeah, just breaking doors open, and bringing in my authentic self to people. And I do my best to A lot of people say fake it till you make it. I don't really like to fake it till I make it because you subliminally start creating this habit of this face or fake persona. I like to be my authentic self. And if you like me the way I am, cool. I don't know a whole lot. There's a whole lot that I'm going to learn because I'm willing to learn and I'm willing to put it into practice to make me better so that I can make other people better. And that thing, whatever that thing is that I'm doing in life, make it better, man.
Absolutely. Yes. And I think that's the perspective shift that I have too of like, I don't know how to do everything, but I know that like I've done so many things that I thought I couldn't do that I'm like, there's probably nothing that I can't do at this point. I know there are, but like I have, yeah, it's been challenging, but I haven't given up and I've come so far and you've come so far. And when I take a step back and look at it, I mean, right now it feels like, okay, this has been my life. I'm kind of used to it, but I, yeah, I've come a long way and so have you.
Yeah, and there's a long way to go. There's a long way we can go together and grow together, man, and just be genuine and just, be authentic, be honest, and just because I'm gonna be honest with you, dude. I'm learning a lot from you.
Thank
And there's
you.
a whole lot that I plan on learning from you. And I hope that I can bring some value to what you're doing and connect you with a lot of people in my community and network that can help you bring value to those communities, man, because they
Yeah,
need it.
I appreciate that. And I feel the same way.
Yeah.
It's been cool. It's been cool that we got to connect last week and now again. And I saw all of your posts from being in Vegas and that looked like a dream. That looked like I would have loved to be there. That looked so fun.
Dude, it blew my mind. I went with really no expectation. I just wanted to go and absorb the energy
Mhm.
and bring that energy back to my work and to
Yeah.
my community. A lot of people, there were a lot of keynotes, there were a lot of like jam sessions, and there were a lot of technical workshops. I didn't
Mhm.
sign up for a lot of them, but I did go to some keynotes, I did go to some workshops and a few jam sessions, but I just went just to I didn't have no specific reasoning to just go except for to enjoy the moment. It was my first time in Vegas. It was my first time at one of the largest tech conferences in the world.
Yeah.
And so I got to meet a lot of representatives of companies, a lot of AWS partners, a lot of people in executive positions that it was fun. A lot of programmers, technical people, man. It was just awesome to be there and I'm still kind of soaking it in now, man. And but it's shaping a different perspective. Like I feel more confident about being Brian. You know, um, I have to wrestle with the stigma of like my history and where I came from. But that's another Goliath that I'm slaying every day, man. Like when I show up, I'm like I see myself as a successful business person, uh, serving the community. That's my mantra, man. And so, that's who I am. And so I realize because that's who I am, I'm still becoming that person. Like this everyday growth. But Vegas was awesome, dude. It was really a dream come true, and I look forward to going back next year.
Yeah. Yeah. The post that you had, it seemed like you were just kind of, I don't know, like a kid in a candy store with here's this other thing. Here's you went to like Meow Wolf and saw Beck, and I mean outside of the was Beck a part of the conference or was that something
Yeah,
else?
Beck was part of the conference, man. So
That's
they brought
crazy.
Beck on at the end to close out the conference, and Beck was part of the conference, dude. It was
Love it.
crazy, man.
Wow.
I love Beck too, and I love
Wow.
live music, and so that kind of gave me that added like, oh man, this is kind of cool, and the energy was crazy.
Yeah.
We were in this, it was like this dome. There was
Mhm.
three of them. We were in the main stage, and there was like 10,000 people in each one of them, dude. It was like crazy, wild, and fun. There were a lot of activities on the outside that you probably couldn't see. I'll probably post some of that later, but it was cool, man. It was really cool.
I mean, yeah, that sounds really cool. So what was the event called again?
It was called reInvent. It's a yearly conference that AWS usually they bring all of the partners and customers and technologists, all engineers all around the world. They show up at reInvent in Vegas and they just take over all a lot of the hotels there, and they usually talk about the thing that's coming out and the what has happened in the past year and the thing to look for in the years to come. But
Hmm.
they did talk a lot about AI, and the feedback was this reInvent felt different for a lot of people who's been like going for 6, 7, 8, 10 years. That the energy was different, and so and I felt that for my first time, I'm like, man, this is really cool, and it was positive energy, and it was exhausting because I walked about 10 miles a day, going from hotel to hotel and going to all of the events, but it was really energetic. It was really cool to be a part of that.
Yeah. Wow. And
Yeah.
you said it was 10,000 people at the concert. Was it 10,000 people part of the event?
Oh, they were like it was like over 100,000 people that came out for the reInvent, and no, there were 10,000 people in that one space that I was. That was like three spaces that size, so it was probably 30, 40,000 people at that concert that night.
Wow.
Yeah,
That
and they were all outside. Yeah, it was cool, man.
that's crazy.
But yeah, I think they had like 150,000 people from all over the world that was there.
Hmm. Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man. Yeah, that's huge. And maybe who knows, maybe next year I'll be able to join you. That'd
Yeah,
be
man, that was cool. I wish you could have came this time. It was so like when we met the last time, it was so like late to
yeah,
like book a because I had a double bed, man. I had so much freaking fun, man. Just
it looked like so
enjoying. Yeah, I was at the Horseshoe Hotel and Casino, and it's like right on the strip. So I got to see all the events and just to be in the middle of everything.
yeah. Were as far as like any meaningful people that you met, like connections and like you say, community building is a huge thing for you. Like how were you able to incorporate that during your time out there?
Absolutely. So I met AWS has been doing like this film series on me, and Carly Marvel has been the manager and the marketing manager behind sending the film crew out to see me. And so I finally met her in person. We've been meeting on Zoom for the last over a year,
Mhm.
and I finally met her. And I also met Demario, who is he is the community leader here, the user group community leader here in the United States and North America. And the AWS has user group leaders all around the world, all around the globe.
Wow.
I'm actually a leader in Charleston, South Carolina. That was that was surreal, man. To especially where I came from, to be looked upon as someone who can lead the AWS user group. And the user group, what we do, we bring in entrepreneurs, we bring in engineers, we bring in business owners, and we talk about building on AWS. We talk about technology things. We have workshops, we have demos, anything that can help grow the community and bring new ideas to the community and keep the community thriving. That's what we do at the user groups.
Yeah, I mean that's huge. Congrats. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah,
And
that is.
I see it. I see it though. You're like a perfect motivating, inspiring dude. So I see exactly why they asked you to do that.
Yeah, and that's one reason why I want to learn how to build more apps and how to like. So I'm gonna learn it. I'm watching you, man, and so that's why I wanted to connect with you and buy into Lunchbox. And so I hope that I get an opportunity, or you get an opportunity to come and like demo Lunchbox and show how similar similarly, people can build on AWS a lunchbox, their own lunchbox or whatever. Or and so we'll talk about that later. But that's one thing that I want to kind of do, bring people like yourself in and show that, hey man, you using AI to build these applications, man, that people can they can use to help their business, help their family, help the community, and make money.
Absolutely. And you will have to teach me about AWS because I've never really used it. So, uh, I mean, there's a lot to learn there, I'm sure. But
Yeah, there is a lot to learn there. I will, and I open some doors to some kind of certifications and things like that you can get from AWS, because I'm constantly studying and gaining certifications and things. So yeah, that's something that I've had in the back of my mind. I just hadn't talked to you about it, but I mean, here we are.
I appreciate that, man. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. I would love to do that too. That sounds really cool.
I
And
know it, man, because it's a great place for the world to discover you and the things that you're doing, because you can add, and I know you're adding value to communities, man. And so if we can do it on a different scale, that's cool, man. I mean, if you don't want to do it, that's fine. But if you like to do it, I want to position like people like you and I to
yeah,
get these opportunities. And I'm gonna be honest with you, Atlanta's a big deal, man. There's a lot of big businesses. Google. I did a partnership with a company called BixCard. I am an ambassador of BixCard, and they were invited to the Google Dev Fest maybe a month and a half ago. And so I was in charge of organizing that event for BixCard at the Google Dev Fest, and I got to meet a lot of people there. And so hey, man, I
yeah,
don't limit myself, bro. I mean, I'm open to just using every resource that I can to
yeah,
bring this Voltron together, man.
yes, man. Yeah, I last time I told you I want to get you your own white label in it, so that way you can see what it might look like as you're growing your community to get members into your space. Essentially, how I'm describing it to people is it's like a Facebook group kind of, or a circle, or whatever, with AI tools built into it. And um, I think maybe I mean, you would be the perfect person to be the first person to test it out. And I mean, so I've been thinking about that. It's not quite there yet, but I'm thinking probably January. Maybe we can link up and I'll get you in there.
Okay, that'd be cool. I love to do that. I would. I would. I want to learn how to just like use AI to build websites, and one reason why, of course, I would like to make money, but I want to be able to take it into the community, especially underdeserved communities, and show these kids and young adults or older adults how to use AI,
Mm,
and enjoy it. Be creative. If you want to make money, here's an opportunity to do it. If you want to stay busy just making things using generative AI applications, and you feel like you didn't have the opportunity to go to college to graduate, you still can do these things. You can become an engineer, an AI engineer, without having any college history or experience. And I'm
yeah.
a big educator. Like I'm always evolving, and I'm a continuous learner. And I always promote learning, keep learning, always learn. But
Mhm,
sometimes you people don't have the opportunity. They don't have the money to go to the institutions to learn. But there's other ways to learn, and you can continue to skill up. And that's how I ended up getting involved with AWS,
mhm,
through a Gen AI course that I took for free. And
mm,
from there, they saw my badge on LinkedIn, and from there, they asked me to do an interview, and that led to them coming out doing a film.
mm,
From there, GDNA saw that film on AWS YouTube channel, and they contacted me about joining them internship. And from there, after 90 days, they gave me a job as a business catalyst. And that was like so. And from there, AWX asked me to do another film to follow up on that, and that ended up turning into two films. So that was kind of cool, man.
What was that time frame? When did all that start happening for you?
around July of last year.
Okay. So you met that, I forgot her name. You met that lady.
Carly.
Was she that first contact from LinkedIn?
Yep, Carly
Okay.
Marvel. She sent me a message and I'm like, who is this person, man? So I started kind of clicking and investigating, and she was like, just look at my LinkedIn channel and you'll see my work. So I did because I thought it was just a spam, like
Hmm.
somebody spamming me, and I'm like, okay. And so I saw that she had this position in AWS. So I reached back out and I was like, sure, let's book a call. And
Hmm.
from there it took we got on a call, and her and Lindsay, they interviewed me, and it was like, well, we want to do something with you, we just need to figure out what it is. And so they called me back later, or emailed me back later, and maybe a month later, and was like, we want to send a film crew down to do, this story on you, your tech journey. um and I'm like, okay, cool. um but yeah, it was cool.
That, I mean, that is really cool. And
Yeah,
I'm glad that you messaged her because I'm on LinkedIn too, and I see there is all sorts of spam. So,
yeah.
and things like that are supposed to happen.
Yeah, I'm kind of good at like figuring out the zeitgeist. Like this is the time. So respond, like, because there's something about me that has this is it. You
Mhm.
go this direction and do this now. And there's something about me that have that in me, and it's like, okay, respond to this person. Because I had other people just, like you said, people will spam you. So I felt good about it, and I did, and it worked. And we're still talking about following up after this film, because it just came out maybe a month ago.
Mhm.
And so we're talking about doing some following up, and I'm sure that we will, because once I start the user group here in Atlanta, it will
Mhm.
bring more opportunity to show what type of leadership that I can bring, and how I've evolved into that leadership role, and the value that I've been able to bring to the communities around Atlanta and Charleston.
Right. So what was that first film and then the second film? What are they about?
Well, the first film, it had to do a lot with my curiosity about generative AI, and how I discovered generative AI through AWS. And it was my first like real life experience into like cloud technology. And so it highlighted like my journey into tech. And I transitioned from retail over into tech.
Mhm.
But yeah, it was just basically a story about how people like myself use AWS free educational services to transition into tech, and ended up getting a internship.
Man, yeah, that is super inspiring. It
Yeah.
makes me want to hop on honestly and be like, okay, I need to be looking at this AWS, what they got to offer, honestly.
They have a whole lot to offer, to be honest with you. After that led to, and I didn't tell you this, that led to me being invited into AWS Educate cohort, and I
Mhm.
became AWS Educate Advocate. So they created my own link to offer free courses and skill up on AWS, over 60 courses to anybody for free.
Mhm.
And that was really cool. Once I graduated that cohort, we learned marketing techniques. We learned how to use generative AI to help us create content. And so yeah, that was really awesome, man. And so now I'm a AWS Educate Advocate.
Heck yeah. Wow. Well, as far as just to give a little bit more background and like, I mean, your journey so far, just from how I met you on LinkedIn again, and then just chatting with you over the last year, 2 years, really, I think it's been.
Yeah.
Um, uh, yeah, how did you get involved in technology? Like, what is your story a little bit?
So I've always been in love with technology. I graduated high school years ago, and I wanted to go to school and be a computer scientist. So I did go to Troy State, which is
Mm,
Troy University in Alabama. And things happen, and I ended up having to drop out of college,
mm,
and so it kind of put my career in technology on hold. And this was back in the time where technology or computers and things like that wasn't as popular. And,
sure.
and
When was that?
so
What year?
this was in 96, 1996. That's kind of telling you my age a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah. So so I ended up moving to Atlanta, and I got involved. I got back into school, enrolled back into business school this time in at Phoenix University of Phoenix, and I got a job at what is called SunTrust Bank, which is Truist now. But I got a job as a financial service representative, and so I got into banking and retail. I did a little bit of work with American Express, Capital One, and I did some. I was a loan officer for Worldwide Financial Group, and during the mortgage crisis in 2008ish, I think I
Mhm.
ended up I ended up making a crazy decision, and that decision led into like a drug conspiracy.
Oh boy.
And yeah, and it wasn't like, oh, I want to go sell drugs. No, it didn't happen that way. I'm not that type of um I don't have like that type of criminal mind that I want to go out and just do that. So
Yep.
as a long story short, I ended up involved in a drug conspiracy, and I got sentenced to 30 years or in federal prison, which is 360 months. That's how they sentence you. It was my first conviction, first time ever in jail, first time even like really going in a courtroom, like a criminal courtroom. And so I ended up going to trial and got found guilty. And they sentenced me to 360 months or 30 years in federal prison. I went to prison, and I started fighting, man. I wanted to I wanted to be an advocate based on the things that I saw while I was in prison. I saw how hard it was. I saw how unfair it was. And you know, I'm all for our criminal justice system,
Mhm.
but it can be very unfair. Um, it can be hard on people. You know, and I started fighting, man, and after 3 years, it's what I call I started fighting different.
Mhm.
Instead of instead of fighting to come home, I started preparing to come home. And my out date was 2036 at this time, and this was in 2010.
Wow.
So I started preparing to come home. I didn't stop fighting. I just started fighting different. I started thinking about, because the number one is hard to fight in the federal prison, the judicial system, man. It's really hard. It costs a lot of money.
Mm,
I had emotions that kept getting denied, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna prepare myself to come home. And that fight was different. I started writing letters to senators, celebrities, to congressmen, to judges, to the president, you know, to advocacy groups, to lobbyists, lobby firms. I started writing letters, man, and that changed my life, man, because I got a lot of letters back that said, no, we can't help you. There were a lot of people that did not answer me at all, but that was okay. I didn't feel a certain way about it because I just needed one person to say yes. And so
right.
I ended up sending out over 6,500 letters to like LeBron
What?
James. Yeah, man.
Wow.
Surprisingly, LeBron James wrote me back. Like
Wow.
getting a letter from LeBron James in federal prison was like, wow, dude. It was
Wow.
like, dude, this dude is really like, how? How does this happen? And
Yeah.
so, but yeah,
Wow.
I started fighting. I became an advocate, and that kind of shaped me and shaped who I am today, to advocate for people, advocate for the community, you know.
Uh-huh.
Um, so after about 10 years, I was denied my clemency twice. I was denied, I don't know how many times in the courtroom. But after about 10 years, I finally started getting the yes that I needed. So
Yeah.
um, the prison sent me home to home confinement. I had ended up writing a pro se motion to get my sentence down from outdate of 2036 to outdate of 2031. That was a victory
Yeah.
because I ended up doing that on my own, man. Like learning how to litigate and write, put motions together where the judge will approve it, like grant
Wow.
it. And it was crazy, dude.
Wow.
So I did learn I learned law. Metaphorically, I would tell myself, you know what, Brian, I'm going to pay you $250,000 to get yourself home as quickly as possible. I would think about that. Like, I don't know how many people would even look at life or do that. That meant that I cannot cheat myself. If I'm going to pay myself 250 grand, I'm going to do the best thing that I can possibly do. And so I had to write all of these letters for help. And so I did. In 2010, I ended up getting sent home to home confinement
Mhm.
through the CARES Act. And I'm grateful for that CARES Act. And so I didn't stop there. Once I got home, I re enrolled in college. Let's back up a little bit. When I was in prison,
Mhm.
I enrolled in college through Princeton Teaching Initiative.
Okay.
And that gave me a new spark. I started taking all kind of calculus classes, algebra classes, all of the science classes. And so that gave me a new spark. Once I got home, I re-enrolled in college. I said, I'm going to declare a degree, information technology with a concentration in cybersecurity. And I ended up getting that degree. And that got me back into technology. And it was like, you know what? Even though I'm a lot older now, I haven't given up on my dream that I want to be a computer scientist. And so I had a lot of catching up to do, but here comes AI. And so now I started taking coding courses and it was like, man, it's gonna be hard for me to do. And I'm on home confinement and I can't go out and like have this community of people helping me. But here comes AI. And I started using LLMs to learn how to code, like Chat
Mhm.
GPT and Claude. And then I started building like um, the what do you call it? Chat GPT, the custom GPTs.
Right.
I started building I built this cybersecurity custom GPT to help me study for my cybersecurity exam and to help other people. So I made it public
Mhm.
and to help other people in cybersecurity. And so I just started doing little cool things like that. And so that brought me back into like the technology field, man. And from there it took off.
Man, that I'm speechless. I'm super inspired. And yeah, you're a really cool dude. And I'm glad that I mean, I'm not glad that you went through what you went through, but I think that you had to like I mean, to reach all the people that you're reaching and that I know you're going to reach with your story. And I'm just
Yeah.
one of those fortunate people that I'm thankful that even just this one-on-one with you, I feel is super valuable. So I appreciate it.
Yeah, you know what, man? And I live life with no, and I've made a decision to live life with no regrets. And what I mean by that is not like just go out and do just terrible things and just you don't have any feeling on you care. Meaning that no matter what I do, if I make a mistake, if I mess up, I'm going to get some added value out of it because I'm going to learn from it, and I'm not going to make that same mistake again. I'm going to learn how to get it right. And
Mhm.
so I'm glad, to be honest with you, it was one of the best things that ever happened to me. And that sounds crazy, but it really was because it connected me with a lot of people that has embraced me since I came home. And that
Yeah,
was one of the reasons why I was writing letters because I resolved that I was going to come home before that 2031 out date. And I needed to
right.
position myself to overcome the stigmas that normally come with people who are convicted felons.
Mhm.
And so I started painting when I was in prison. I learned how to paint and draw. And so
Right.
art is a passion that I've used in is one of the things that I've used now, art and technology, to highlight who Brian Rowe is and to add value to the communities, you know.
Yes, yeah, I saw you made a post about the art book that you put out. the other day. That's
Yeah,
on sale.
price.
I tried to find it on it's on Lulu, right?
Yeah, it's on Lulu. Yeah, yeah. If you do find it, I'll it just just text me or send me your address. I'll send you. I'll buy you a copy. I'll get you a copy of it, buddy. I got you.
Man, I mean, I one when you mentioned like learning all of the legal stuff to be able to reduce your sentence, I mean, that's huge. And then learning how to paint while you're in there. And then 6,500 letters. That's crazy, man. You didn't waste a single drop of time while you were in there. And
I didn't. I didn't waste any time. I knew that I had to use my time wisely. I'm a big believer, a big fan, and there's a word, and I think in Ephesians, it talked about how to gain back your time, get back your time, man. And so and that to me, that means use your time wisely. And even though I was in one of the worst situations or circumstances or whatever people may call it of my life, I knew that, okay, it was my crisis. And that's why I wrote the art book. I used crisis as the title of the art book. And the Chinese used to write symbols to identify like how we use alphabet or words. And so
mhm,
crisis meant to them, they wrote it in two symbols, drew two symbols. One symbol mean beware the danger. The other one is look for an opportunity in that crisis.
mm,
And so um it, it's helped me to bring a different perspective to people. So no matter where I might find you, you might find yourself in a worse situation you've ever been in. You might not can change that immediately, but what good can come out of it? I want you to focus more on you coming out of this situation, whether it's sickness, whether it's prison, whether it's a broken relationship, whether it's losing a loved one, and or something, man. What can you gain from this? What can you get out of this what can you use to motivate you to say, you know what, I'm going to become a better person because of this?
absolutely.
And I empathize and sympathize with people who go through their crisis, but I like to encourage people, learn from it. Who can you reach? Who can you help? And I've learned, I help people come home, man. When I was in prison, I talked to people about how to do law work so that they can get their sentence reduced just like I got my sentence reduced. And I saw people going, and the thing about it, man, I had to see people go home before me. And
Mhm,
it didn't bother me because I found a joy out of like, man, I helped this person, I motivated this person to put emotion in, and this person got his sentence reduced. That was that's where I got my identity, man, of being an advocate to help people, man, to come out of their crisis.
yeah, I I love that. I didn't know that about the word crisis. And I I mean, I've definitely gone through crises, and for me, it was me losing my dad, and like it felt like a fork in the road where I lost my hero. I could, you know, be depressed and sad about it, which of course that was a part of it, but instead of letting my life sort of slip out from my hands, grabbing it and being like, this is my life, and this is a choice that I get to make right now.
Yeah.
And I love that you are are helping other people realize that those moments that are so difficult and challenging are our biggest potential for growth and change.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And that crisis is so awesome to me.
Mhm,
Because no matter where, like even in technology, man, you might be dealing with a crisis because AI, and people may think or hear, well, you might lose your job
mhm,
because of AI. AI is taking your job. That could be your crisis. But what is the opportunity? It's to learning a new skill, a new trade. Learn AI, learn how to prompt engineer, learn how to do vibe coding to excel your work so that now it might not take your job. Companies want people that learn AI and skills, and they can use it because the companies just don't know how to use. They need people to teach them and to bring skills to help them excel and utilize AI to better their company.
Absolutely. And I think for me, AI has opened up doors that I never would have. I mean, I would have, but like you, like you're sitting there learning programming the old way, and then AI comes out and it just like blows and shakes everything. And for me, like I started building super quick and building my own company, having no experience, one in doing that, no experience in coding. And it opened a door for me that, it would have taken a lot of breaking down barriers. So for people who want to explore coding or want to, I don't know, learn a new language or whatever it is, whatever, even learning legal stuff, it's a crazy time right now. And I hope that more and more people do start to realize that I don't have an excuse anymore. Like I used to have an excuse. It used to be the money. It used to be I don't have the time. But AI helps people learn exactly in the ways that they need to and just implement immediately. So
Yeah.
it's crazy times.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's crazy, right? It's crazy times, but also exciting times.
Yes.
You know, I think the people like you and I, we're built for the times that we're in now. You
Mhm.
know, we're built for it because I'm gonna be honest with you. I've been around a lot of people that they are engineers, but they're afraid that they're losing their jobs. And I've been able to encourage even those people like, yo, man, you just got to pivot and you can keep going. You know, I started out after I came home, I started out heavy, like tunnel vision in cybersecurity. And here comes AI. So I had to pivot a little bit, man, because I wasn't afraid that I would be left behind. I was excited to learn something new,
Absolutely.
so that I can add with the cybersecurity skills that I've learned.
Hmm.
So yeah, it's kind of cool. But I believe people like you and I are built for these times, man, because we're the ones that can encourage people no matter what level you might be on, man, the skill level you might be on. If you see you and I do what we've done with like with no I don't want, what's the word? No opportunity to have the privilege to have the opportunity to be like go to these schools and to have people to teach us. We have the grit to learn on our own, and one thing lead to another. It's like Lego and building blocks, man, just coming together, and look what we got now. So
Yes.
I hope to see you continue to build your company and build out like like just more than one company, and just keep going, man.
Thank you. Yeah, and I'm excited too for like you and the reach that you're getting now in the people's lives who you're teaching and sharing this message with that are blessed to get that encouragement, this inspiration that I'm feeling right now, to where they're seeing like, oh damn, Brian did all of that. All the cards were stacked against him. And like, what excuse do I have? Like, he's showing me how it's possible. And I think that you're going to open so many people's, I mean, you already have, like I said, and you shared, but man, it's an incredible story. That's really
It's
cool.
a beautiful. Yeah, it is, man. To sit back, and I don't pat myself on the back, but it's like the real hero's journey that I begin to see. I'm like, and I say that because I embrace that. I'm not acting like I'm all of this, and I'm like have this attitude and look at me. No, it's like, dude, you can come back, and you can come back strong. Since I've been home, I've been on podcasts, the Badass Leaders podcast, and that's been an awesome experience to be on there with Angela. Angela is she's on the board of directors of Georgia Tech. And to have me on her podcast and just talk about my journey into technology, man, here in Atlanta is to me, it's a big deal. And it's like, okay, I can do that. I want to start my own podcast, and to be honest with you, I did start the PowerShift podcast using AI, to talk about my story. But
Hmm.
now I want to kind of evolve into getting on the screen and just talk like you and I are talking, and to
Yeah,
add and to use AI continually, but yet come out of my shell and like, hey, but it's kind of cool, man.
it is super cool. And I think I mean, you're great at it. I know you prefaced our conversation saying, you get clammed up and shelled up, but I mean, I felt like this has not been that at all. And it's been it's been a good conversation so far. And I have, like I mentioned at the beginning, I have 5 questions, and you've answered a lot of them already. But I'll just do like a lightning round with you with
Okay,
these fun
all right,
questions.
cool. All right.
All right. So, what are you building currently, and who is it for?
What am I building currently, and who is it for?
Yes, sir.
Huh. I'm doing a lot, man. As when you ask me what am I building, like as in a project or
Just in general, I mean, it seems to me like you're building I feel like a movement, honestly.
I am, you know what? I am building up a movement. I am building up communities, and I'm doing it. I'm doing it for like for the world, because the world they need to have to me, I look at community as a common unity, and the world need to be more interdependent than independent. And
Mhm.
you can be independent, but bring that independency into a place where we can all utilize it. And so I'm building a community, man, of resilience, a community that's driven by technology, creativity, and the like, man, and just motivation, and bringing people together, and identifying the value in one another, man, and just. But that's what I've been building, and I've used technology and art to do it, man, and my love uh, and passion to do it.
It's palpable, and I mean, it's legit. I feel it. I'm
Yeah.
happy to be part of the movement with you.
You talk about that feeling. At one of the keynotes, the CEO of Sony, he talked about, I think it's pronounced kendo, and kendo is in Japanese. It has a meaning of like a feeling, a purpose, and it's more than just this abstract feeling. It's a feeling of, it gives you this wholeness of fullness and a connectivity. And so crisis and kendo is the two words that, which is crisis is in Chinese and kendo is the Japanese. There's two symbols that they write kendo in. And that
Mhm.
meant, like Sony, when they do their marketing and the things that they build, they make sure that kendo is in it, that people can feel it, that it's meaningful, that it's useful, that it gives them a feeling of a motivation and joy, and it might bring you up out of a bad situation. If you're not in a bad situation, it continues to give you that energy to propel you to a new height.
Absolutely. I never knew that word. I saw you post it the other day, and
Yeah, yeah,
that's exactly what I feel like. Ever since I found AI in my like coding and building and showing other people how to do it, it just felt natural. It's just like it's powering itself, like without me really even needing to do anything.
yeah,
And
yeah.
I'm wondering, is that might be a good name for your next art book?
Kendo.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah. I want to talk later. You and I want to talk about I want to talk about doing a podcast, crisis, and also a blog,
yeah,
crisis, and just talk about crisis in different areas and how you can utilize crisis, how people can utilize crisis, and just use that one word to just develop your life and see a different perspective. So yeah, kendo and crisis, the kendo could be my next art book.
yeah.
Thank you for that, man.
Well, I mean, you brought it up. Uh, all right, here's next question is what problem are you solving with like the movement that you mentioned just now? What is that solving for people?
Oh man, the first word came to my mind is racism.
Mm,
Bringing people together from different diverse communities and race or ethnicity. We we've like a lot of politics or whatever it might be. There has been a lot of division in our world, especially here in United States. And I'm not saying when I say racism, it's not so much a black and white type of racism. It's a division. Like no matter what ethnicity, diverse culture, ethnicity that you come from,
Mhm.
we need to come together and to bring and to use. This is an opportunity to use technology and art to bring people together, because like you and I, we could talk about art, we could talk about technology all day long, and we
Mhm.
use that medium to just come together and come to this equilibrium, like this place that you and I we can work together in
Mhm.
building things. Same thing with art. It brings value to people. So if I bring out one of my art pieces, it don't matter what color you are, with ethnicity, you might want to talk about it. And so it's a conversation piece for us to come together and build bridges together for us to cross and build and make the world a safe place, a better place, a more equitable place to live in.
Absolutely. And that's, I mean, I agree. One, things are so divisive in our country that it's just like one battle after the other. And I love that I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, your whole story has been about bridging and community building and
And community building. Yeah. Divisive that might be a better word than racism. But yeah, yeah, that's, but the same, that was my point for saying racism, bringing people together, man.
absolutely. And I think too, for me, like with AI and as well, it's like the great leveler, in my opinion, as far as
Yeah.
like opportunity is available for everybody at this point. Rich, poor, whatever your background, like now is the time. It doesn't matter. So um, I love that.
Yeah, and that's crisis. That's that opportunity, man. There's that opportunity. Like here's AI. Here's the opportunity for you to change your family's, like the wealth gap. Like you can change your family's life. You can change your life. You can change your community's life. You can bring resources to the community that the community has never had before using technology and AI. So
Exactly. Yeah.
yeah.
I'm picturing you like teaching somebody who's the next, biggest whatever, like app builder, or they build some sort of software that ends up saving somebody. It's like you never know who you're going to affect either of like just sharing and what that's going to help build and blossom in them.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
Yeah.
yeah. I appreciate that.
Yeah. What's been your biggest challenge?
Myself, myself, and and when I say that is it, it's getting out there and overcoming the stigmas. You know, um, there's so much more that I know that I will do, and I'm overcoming that. I have to move out of my way a lot in my thinking. Like, can I do this? Do I deserve to do it? What other people may think about me for just showing up, or just people might ask me what, like, my background, my history, what school did I go to, and all of that. I have to get over all of that to just give people the value that they really need. Like, forget about the the school that I went to, forget about the my history that I might have. I don't think that I have, or say that I have a criminal history, because I've only been this one strike, but it was a life changing strike. But might some people may say, well, yeah, you do have a criminal history because you have a felony or whatever. But having to deal with that, I have to get out of my own way, and to so that I can give people the best version of Brian without that fear involved in it.
I do absolutely know what you're talking about. And I agree. Nobody's a bigger critic of me than myself and
Yeah.
going to keep me from opportunities more than myself.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So
And
yeah.
yeah, embracing who I am, where I'm at in the given moment. And yeah,
Yeah, and I say that because my belief, and this is my nobody or no thing can stop me but me. And I don't
absolutely.
care who you are. I faced it, man. I had to file like a year before I came home. My judge denied me like 4 times,
Mhm,
like within a year. But I would not allow those denials to stop me. So I kept putting in, kept fighting, and kept fighting. And dude, I came home. Had I
mm,
stopped, had I
mhm.
allowed that to stop, I
Yeah,
would not be home today.
absolutely.
And so the biggest, that's why I say like I have to get out of my own way. And so to overcome and um to be the best version of Brian that I can possibly be. And the world has not seen nothing yet, dude.
Yeah, I'm
Ain't
excited.
seen.
I feel that. I agree too. Like for me, there was the moment when I'm starting up my company where I was making videos and it just felt like nothing was happening. I
Yeah.
was putting in all of this work, and I think of you like writing 6,500 letters, and you finally get that one back that like changes everything, and
Mhm.
you can't quit until the miracle happens. Don't quit until yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, man. You can't quit until the miracle happens. And by getting out of my way, I've seen miracles happen. I've seen things just happen, just take off. And I was maybe a couple months, I had dinner with Congressman Bobby Scott up in Washington, D.C., man. And I'm sitting next to him and we're just talking, and I get to show him my artwork that I was doing in prison. And he
uh,
was one of the biggest advocates to advocate for people like me to come home. So he get to
yeah,
sit next to me and see what I'm doing and what I've done since I've been home. And we're talking about, and come to find out he loves art. And it was like, dude, like this is like this is crazy. But yeah, because of
that is
that, me getting out of my own way, man, I've been fortunate to meet congressmen and senators in Washington D.C. and talk to them about the local communities that they serve and what they can do better. And I'm an advocate, so here I am. Use me. I'm in the communities. I'm close to the communities. I'm here to bring the kind of change that the world needs, and I do it with love. You know.
yes, yeah. Yeah, I feel that, man. That's crazy. I had a feeling like that first time that totally different situation, but I was like at my first speaking event sharing that like AI and everything that I've been doing. People asked me if I was nervous about that, and I was nervous, but I also felt like I was exactly where I was supposed to be, and like
Yeah.
everything had led up to that. And so you being there with that Congress person is like, okay, you were supposed to be there. It might have been a bizarre moment of like, how the heck did I even get here? But like, it was meant to be.
It was meant to be, and it was crazy. I was asked to be a speaker at that dinner that we had, and it was wild, man. Because I'm like, dude, man, my out date was 2036, and I'm here. I'm standing here. I've overcome all of that, whatever it was, but
Yeah,
I'm here now, and I soak it in, but I put my head back down to the plow because there's more work to do. You know, I celebrate, I have those moments, and I'm like, wow. But I go back in, and we, like you and I, we get to talk, and I hope people, at some point hear our conversation and get motivated.
I
And be
agree.
motivated.
I agree. I mean, I feel it. It's palpable. All right. I got two more
Let's go.
and then we can wrap it up. All right. One win or milestone that you've hit or that you're working towards.
Oh man, yeah, cool. Um, Milestone that I hit. Let's put this in. Okay. In 2017, let's go all the way back. 2017, I wrote down in my journal that I'll be coming home in 2021.
Mm,
Okay. And I wrote down steps on what I was going to do to make that happen, that milestone happen. Okay. One was write letters to any and everybody. Another one was keep motions in the court. So there's a possibility that the judge will grant the relief. Another one was to keep my clemency petition in, and another one was to stay in prayer. And this was in December the 26th, 2017. I wrote this down in my journal. I did all of those things that I said. And in December the 15th, 2021, I came home.
Wow.
I came home, and I still have my journal over there with the dates that I would write these things down. And so that was a great milestone that I hit. Another one was to get back involved in the tech community that I wanted to get involved in back in 1996. So when I came home, I re-enrolled in college and I got my degree in information technology with a concentration in cybersecurity. And that was a milestone that I hit. And from there, all this other stuff wasn't something that I had in the picture, but I'm here. Um, I wanted to come home when I was in that place. I wanted to come home and be an asset to my community and not a liability. That's another milestone I'm working on now, man. Being that asset, and it's not like, oh, I'm an asset to my community. There's a continually working, and there's a continuation of it and growing and growth that takes place while I'm doing it. But those are the milestones that I wanted to hit and that I'm continuing to work on.
Wow. That was almost what, 4 years to the date when you set that
Four,
milestone and then got out.
four
That's
years,
crazy.
yep, yep, 4 years. And I was facing that 2000 at that time 2031 out date, and I wrote down I'll be home 10 years before that out date, and exactly in that same month that I wrote it down is the same month that I came home on in 2021.
Wow.
So yeah.
Wow.
So in other words, when I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to figure out ways to get it done. And I'm not going to take no for an answer. If it's right and if it's ethical, I'm going to do it. So nothing can stop me but myself. And I'm not willing to put myself out there to stop myself. I'm not going to work against myself.
Yes. Yeah, I got my notebook over there. I'm like, okay, I want to do that now. I want it in writing. Like, what is my next milestone? I love that.
Yeah. And write down four or five things. If it's only one, start there. And then, you know, it just start somewhere and it works, bro. And even today, like what's keeping me motivated, I have 5 values that I live by.
Mhm.
And so like as I continue to live out my purpose, I live by those 5 values. So I put those values in everything that I do, everywhere that I go. And to love, to be bold, to be a contributor. Those are some of the values that I have, man. And to use my imagination, to imagine how can I come out. I used to when I was in prison, I used to do paintings and drawings, and I use my imagination, and I would paint like this is the vision, this is the person that I'm going to become, this is where I'm going to be. And so all of my paintings have everything that I used to paint has a story behind it. And I use my imagination to get me to that point, into that place. And so, yeah, use your imagination, bro, and write down and just start taking those steps and things start working together. Things just start moving, man. It's powerful.
That is. All right. How can people support you, Brian? And like maybe how could they find you? What is support? Like what does that mean to you? How could they support you?
Huh. People can support me by listening to me. Like, and when I say listen, not just about Brian, like listen to the content and the context of what I'm saying and the dire need to change our perspective and help one another. Like, start acting. People can help me by being encouraged to use technology and to help bridge communities and build communities using technology. That's how people can really help me. Um, of course, it's gonna take money to do certain things, but I'm not after the money. The money is gonna come. Um, Continue to spread my message and continue to share my message on LinkedIn, on Facebook, on Instagram, um, and so that more people can hear the message that Brian Rowe is carrying, that will come and help the communities, because we really need that. We really need to attack the gun violence that's taking place in a lot of our communities. We need to attack the poverty. We need to attack the inequality, the equity that need to be in each one of our households, man. Even with our families, man. But that's how people can help me. You can reach me at on Brian Rowe on LinkedIn, or I think Brian Rowe 777 on Instagram, Brian Rowe on Facebook, Brian Rowe 777 on YouTube. And so I'm building up my LinkedIn, my social media channels. I'm not looking to be like this viral person to pat me on the back, but I do realize that the more people that share my message, the better off this world would be, because I
Mm,
have a positive message. I mean it with love. I do it with love, and it's for the good of us, humanity.
absolutely. And I hear the content, I hear the power. I'm inspired, and yeah, I'm gonna do everything that I can to help support you as far as like helping you reach more people, because like you said, your message needs to be heard so that it will help us as a whole grow. So, dude, yes, thank you.
Yeah,
That was
man. No
awesome,
problem.
man. Thank
Yeah, it
you.
was. Yeah,
Content
yeah. It was, man. It was really awesome.